I got that sunshine in my pocket. Got that good.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pro Monster 73 here, and I'm here with a new Showcase Sunday featuring the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Southwick 2016 by Punker Jeffy. I know somebody told me he had done tracks before on MX Maniacs, I believe it was. So he done it pretty well. I've ridden a couple laps with some of the guys earlier, just doing fun races for now. But there were a couple of things we were looking at and saying that it wasn't quite right on it. As you guys will see mostly in the video, that it don't feel like it's, I don't feel like it's as sandy as Southwick is really known for. And I say that because like Glen Helen's track, that one was super sandy when it was made. Like it breaks down nice and everything. It does have a lot of ruts, but it runs nice. And this one just, it's not set as soft as it could be. So like, you'll notice that a couple of lines, it doesn't get as torn up. There's not many deep ruts in there as you would see being formed when you're racing the track. But he's got the drag there, and then the drag with this kind of track just doesn't make too much sense because, you know, the surface looks like it should be a fast surface, but it's slowing down and it's not sand, which is kind of weird. I don't know, that might just be me. So right here you got a nice inside, middle, and outside line. The inside line is really good for racing. This one, I know you do want to try and carry more speed because of the slowness of it. Everybody seems like they're going kind of slow. It's really good for battling though, because we had about 5 of us in here earlier, and top 4 were all within 3 seconds of each other, and that was really fun. We got 2 or 3 people wide in the turns. Just awesome. And the Southwick track itself is not really known for much of its jumps because the sand really breaks it down, and not very many jumps there anyways. But it does ride nice. It is clean. It's just little things that we wish were changed. Mostly just the track surface. It needs to be a little bit softer. It needs to be actually sand. Just as I'm talking, I'm doing a terrible lap right now. We had a guy in here. He ran a 1:58, which I have no idea how he did. He pretty much chopped 4 seconds off my lap because my best was a 2:03, and I was like, holy crap, I'm flying. But his thing pops up high 1:58, 1:59, somewhere around there, and it was just like, how you getting 4 seconds off this when I feel like I'm flying. Didn't have very many mistakes that lap. One thing that does suck though is that however many laps you're going to run, you're going to make sure you add 1, because the lap I just ran right now, this does not count for a lap. The official lap will not start until right here. This is the finish line, and it's the start of lap 1. So you pretty much run almost an entire lap without technically running a lap, because right here is the start straightaway. You come back and you turn on it, and there's start straight. So kind of an end there. I wish you would have changed to lap 2, but I mean, I guess I can kind of see the understanding because you didn't officially cross the finish line. But we all know motocross anyways, it's a timed event, not a lap event, so which would be awesome. Somebody can figure out how to get that. I don't know if it's physically possible in this game with how the game's made. Oh, but I mean, man, maybe future gaming they can figure that out. I don't know how, but it's around the corner somewhere. Somebody's going to think of it and be like, this guy's in first place. And after 30 minutes, if they want to do it, 35, 10, however many minutes you want to do, you know, once this guy crosses the finish line, maybe the 2-lap board goes up. Future idea? I don't know. We'll see. Technology advances. People think of things more. We'll get it going. It's just a nice 3-lap leisurely cruise. We had a blast on 125. I mean, 125, we were only 2-3 seconds slower. 250s, we did the 250s on, and I felt like the 252 strokes, I felt like I was much slower. Like, I was running slower lap times on a 252 stroke than I was on a 125. Those things just feel like they're absolute slugs. Couple lines you can scrub that one next time. Sometimes you do get a bad hop coming up that crest. I noticed a couple guys saying, holy crap, I got a big jump off that thing, and there's nothing really there, so do feel like this lap's pretty smooth. We'll see. Lap time's going to be right around my usual. Oh, except for that. There it goes. So you see, I even had 2 little mistakes. I still got a 203. So, you know, I believe a 158, 159 is possible. I mean, possible for me. I know it's possible for real. But I've got my setup going way different. Some people say, oh, I don't adjust the setups at all. But I don't know. It's just my head tells me the setup works. So I change it for how I feel. I know there's a word for it. I always forget the actual word. Snake has to remind me of that all the time because, I don't know, he just knows that shit. I can't figure it out. Starts with a P, I know that. But I will say that the banners, and you can kind of get away. We found a cheat line or two, but they're not the greatest of cheat lines. They don't save you any time. They actually probably hurt you because it takes a lot of skill to try and get over that, and I can't do it. I did it by accident, and I was like, oh, well, that didn't really help me. But I will say he does nice banners. There is some give. There's actually quite a bit of give on some of the track markers. You can kind of go outside of them, and you can ride it for a little bit and get away with it. And then there's some sections where I was out for a second and kept going straight, and then was back on the track, and then it reset me after I got back on. I was like, okay, well, if that makes sense to you, then sure. But the layout's beautiful, the scenery's beautiful, the banner's awesome, has a real good feel. I know he probably hasn't made very many for Reflex yet, so it'd be nice to see people. I mean, I know it's not really something with people, or you know, he's got one of the lifts there, the little scissor lifts for camera, but it just feels kind of like you're riding on an empty track. You know, you're just here by yourself and cruising. Just wish it had more of the race type feel. Oh, look at that. I'm going to get a pretty good lap, I think. Alright, 2:01. That's officially my fastest lap. Look at that. I give you guys a fast lap on Showcase Sunday. I just didn't do that today. I was talking over with a couple of guys. I'm like, let's do Showcase Sunday. They're like, oh, hey, Showcase Sunday. That's funny. Whatever. It works. Try to do some more scrubs. See how that works. Try to stay lower this lap. See how much faster I can get. If I could dip under the 2 minutes, I'd be like losing my mind. Because I'm not a subpar 2-minute rider by any means. I call myself the old man of Reflex because I don't know about you guys, but I played this game right when it came out and was having fun on it back on the PlayStation. I want to say PlayStation 3 days when I had it, and back in MXOT days. That was fun. Having 3,000 plus people racing, and then you know you get a full lobby, and then you just go by the fastest overall times. I think I ended up, like, my highest one actually would end up being like the high 70s, low 80s. Out of that many people, I was like, alright, you know, people miss races and whatnot, so it was nice to see that I was fast. Almost, oh fuck, there goes my map. Almost about 7 years ago, 8 years ago was when I was doing this on OT. Me and Red Rider 197, we have an old man, or geezer racing. We typically take up the back of the pack. You know, make sure it's a fun race at the very end. Him and I battle a lot. We always have good fun and takeouts and just stupid mistakes that everybody else is like, what? How did you do that? How did you crash there? Or how did you fall there? Because I'm old, man. You guys are like, oh, you're not that old. 27. You're right, but 27 playing video games on Reflex seems pretty old to us guys. Most of the kids we play with are 16, maybe in their early 20s, so we call ourselves old men. Alrighty, well, that was the Showcase Sunday. That's a cool camera angle, actually. Showcase Sunday for me. I got a 2:01. I did my best lap on an empty track. Well, thank you guys for coming out, watching this, and hope you guys have a good night. Deuces.